Good evening. I'm Neman Indelembetiki of the Fiji Sun. Welcome to Fiji's only TV editorial show. In my say this week, I will speak on our bilateral relations with China. China is now the global leader in economic progress. Barry Whiteside, the governor of the Reserve Bank of Fiji, said, and I quote, "It is said that when China sneezes, the whole world catches a cold," implying that developments in China have an important impact on the rest of the world. Close quote. While China comes under scrutiny for its human rights record from time to time, it has earned respect for its performance in the global economy. The human rights issue is relative and is based on a whole raft of conditions. Even Australia has now come under the spotlight. A leading light in the region on democracy and human rights, Australia now faces scrutiny from the United Nations. Last week, an Australian delegation appeared before the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva for what's known as a Universal Periodic Review. All of the UN's 193 member states are required to undergo the review, which aims to examine every aspect of a country's human rights record every 4 years. The first and last time Australia was in the hot seat was in 2011. Among the issues Australia was grilled about included offshore processing centers for refugees, marriage equality, violence against women and children, indigenous land rights, and counter-terrorism law. So the human rights issue must be seen in its proper perspective. China has become a major trading partner for Australia, New Zealand, and other economies that we do business with. It is the United States' largest creditor, holding the highest amount of U.S. Treasury securities. Because of our links to these economies, developments in China also have a significant impact on our economy. Our trade with China has grown in leaps and bounds in 15 years. According to the Reserve Bank of Fiji, Fiji holds a deficit with China that has grown exponentially from around $32 million in the year 2000 to approximately $490 million in 2014. Imports include machinery, vehicles, food products, clothing, footwear, iron, steel, chemicals, and furniture. They have risen steadily from $34 million to $624 million. Similarly, our exports to China, which include mostly raw materials, wood chips, fish, tuna, seaweed, mineral water, and vegetable products, have also gained traction, especially with inclusion of bauxite exports in 2012. Our export earnings have increased from a mere $1.3 million to around $135 million over the last 15 years. Mr. Whiteside says while we recognize the immense trade opportunities Fiji has with China, we're often constrained by the supply capacity of our industries to meet the large demand from China. He says our focus must be to target China's high-end niche markets for diverse products that include mushrooms, quality ginger and ginger products, seafood, including seaweed, slim and beauty products. In tourism, numbers and earnings from Chinese visitors to Fiji have grown steadily over the last 6 years. From just 4,000 in 2009, Chinese visitor numbers increased to 28,000 in 2014, a 7-fold increase. They've already surpassed 30,000 this year and were more than 47% higher than the corresponding first 9 months of 2014. Projections for 2016 and beyond look positive and promising. China has become a major investment partner in Fijian development projects, including roads and hydroelectric projects. More and more of our people have been traveling to China to receive training in various fields. The increasing people-to-people contact between the two countries underscores the various progress they have achieved in the last 40 years of bilateral relations. China has declared its commitment to support Fiji in its climate change campaign, as the Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama is about to head to Paris for the COP21, the United Nations Climate Conference. and voiced the concerns of the small island states about carbon emissions and rising sea level. China is doing more than other rich industrialized countries to cut its carbon emissions and has promised to do more. There are so many economic benefits that Fiji can potentially get from the relations with China. Our foreign affairs policy endorsement of the non-aligned movement has helped in building our international friends and allies. China is at the top of the list of our close friends. We are right up there with our close neighbors, Australia and New Zealand, in strengthening our relations with China, which is now a major player in the Pacific. I am Neman Intelemetiki, and that was my say this week. For more of my views, you can read the Fiji Sun. See you next week.